I wrote one email. I texted someone one time. I went onto their website, contact us form, and filled out one form. That's 3 separate scenarios for 3 different individuals, 3 different businesses, and none of them followed up. So I quit. Is this you? Because it's a lot of you.
You're listening to Zack Miller Says.
And the problem with that is pretty simple. You are hoping that that person responds, and they don't, so you quit. Now, sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but people don't wake up thinking, no, I need to talk to that person who emailed me today. You're just not on their list, right? As much as this sucks, as much as I want people to wake up saying, I need to listen to Zack Miller today. I need to read his book. I need to be thinking about what Zack Miller says. It just doesn't happen like that, right? The only person you probably think about is someone in your family, a spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, your dog, your kids, whatever it might be. That's it. But all too often people do one thing, one email. They send one email. They send one text. Send out one contact form. They call one person once. And they expect that one call to get all the results. Tenacity, resiliency. Insert any other word that talks about hard work, and most people aren't willing to do it. I don't know why, right? The first thing that we talk about in Anomaly is how you need to be resilient, how you need to play the follow-up game, right? Not to the extent where you're so annoying that the person doesn't want to talk to you, but you don't know what scenario is happening, right? If the one medium that you're sending someone to isn't working, try a different one. Oh, I sent an email, okay, send a text, send a contact form, maybe become friends with them on LinkedIn or Facebook, whatever it might be, right? But if you send one note and it doesn't work, you can't quit. This is not like, oh, well, they're not that into me. Well, you don't know that they're not that into you. You tried once. So, are you willing to bet on yourself once to see if you can get that scenario? I just don't understand why you are questioning why someone isn't responding. Also, what is the message that you're sending? Is it buy my thing? That's probably not the greatest of first emails either. I got an email about a month ago from someone saying, hey, it was nice. It said, hey, I wanted to throw some ego bombs at you and stroke your ego, but now I want you to buy my thing. And I was like, I don't even know you. Like, I'm not going to give you thousands of dollars at this point. It doesn't make sense, right? So what is your email? What's your contact, your first contact with some of these people? And maybe this is your 5th contact with that person. You've had lunch, dinner, correspondence back and forth, but for some reason, something slipped up and they didn't respond. And you go, oh, they must hate me now. No, just follow back up. Look, the name of the game is fairly simple, okay? You're ticked off and you're stressing out because someone isn't responding to you. Great. Follow the F up, okay? Literally, I have a whiteboard that you can't see on the other side of me, and it says, follow the F up. Why? Because that's the game. The other side of it says, what I want to do in 2019, which is pretty important itself. And no, I'm not going to, be like one of those people who says, this is what I want to do this year. It's not a New Year's resolution either, by the way. I don't like New Year's resolutions. But if you're wondering why someone is not responding to you, what are you doing to get them to respond? Did you send them a message that has no next step to do to it? Well, of course they didn't respond to it. There's nothing to respond, right? So if you are in a scenario like this and you're wondering what else you can do, follow up. That would be the next thing. And if following up again doesn't work, follow up in a different medium. A different medium, like if you sent an email, send a LinkedIn request. Call them. Send them something in the mail. See what happens. Also, for those of you who have been long-time viewers of the show, appreciate you. This is my first video of 2019. As you can see, I got a Christmas present of The Rock. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. It's behind me. I talked about that, I believe, on my last podcast. So I got a poster of that, so I had to hang it up. Thank you to Eric Olson of Array Digital. If you guys haven't heard, he started a new podcast himself called the Marketers Anonymous Podcast. You can check that out wherever you are. Of course, listen to mine first, then you can listen to his. But thanks to Eric. I was actually looking at rock posters to buy. That was not the one I was going to buy. I don't know. Something about a grown man, having a grown man in a Speedo on your wall is kind of weird. Yet, here we are. But, if you're sitting here watching this video, if you're sitting here listening to this, and you're in a scenario like this where you're like, why hasn't that person called me back? It's very simple. What are you doing to control this scenario, right? You control way more of the dialogue than you think. In my opinion, you own all of it. So if you are not willing to follow up with that person, if you're not willing to try different mediums, if you're not willing to try different strategies to get that person to respond, you probably will not get the result that you want. So instead, follow the F up, and follow the F up a lot. It's pretty simple. If you want an action to happen, simply put, you have to create that email, that action. Don't just send one email, send a lot of them, and amazing things will happen. And if you don't, what do you expect other than nothing? If you don't send an email, there's no reason to think that anything good will happen. Follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up. It's so annoying how many times you have to follow up, but that is the name of the game. If you don't do it, you probably won't win. So follow up. All right, that ends this episode of Zack Miller Says. We're almost at episode 300, which is crazy to think that this little journey just a few years ago is now going to hit the 300 soon. Now, this is where I try to sell you something, because if I don't try to sell you something, my good friend Eric Olson of Array Digital will literally text me after he listens to this episode and says, I don't know why you don't tell people to buy your book. So this is it. I wrote a book on how to stand out. It's called Anomaly, How to Finally Stand Out from the Crowd. It's actually not available yet, only from me. So it doesn't officially come out until April 2nd of 2019. And I'm recording this on December 13th of 2018. So that's, I don't know, 3.5 months to go. But I have copies. And so if you want one, I'll put the link in the show notes so that you can grab one. It's a great book. There's no actual words in it, right? Actually, there's like 53,000 words in it. But Anomaly, How to Finally Stand Out the Crowd. It shows you how to have the foundations to kick butt in business and in life, in your careers, to hit the milestones that you want, and to ultimately get people to pay attention to you, something that so many people want, but then they play the copycat game. And so you have to do things that stand out and get people to see you in a different way. So if you want a copy, check out the show notes, or just go to zackmillersays.com/N-O'Malley, and you can grab a copy. I'll send it out. I'll sign it, personalize it. That's it. Thank you guys for listening to this episode. It was a lot of fun. If you want, grab a book. Actually, no, grab a book. If you just listen to this entire thing for an hour, what's a couple of bucks to grab this book? I mean, don't you want it? I know you do. But seriously, appreciate it. If there's guests that you want to be on the show, hit me up at Zach@startwithhatch.com, or at Zack Miller Says everywhere. It's Z-A-C-K, not Z-A-C-H. Get it straight, and you can even see it there. But, or hit me up on all of the social at Zack Miller Says. Until next time, grab a book, listen to the next episode, have fun, have a great day. Appreciate you. Woo! Peace.